Happy holidays, guys. Welcome back to madsxmaro. Today it's just me, Mary Rose, and I have a very special video planned for you guys today because I will be sharing with you guys the books that are on my TBR, otherwise known as my to be read list. And I used to be a really big reader growing up. I feel like a lot of us were. I used to read all the time. I loved, fiction and different stories. I mean, I loved everything basically. And then, growing up, getting into like real school when it's a lot busier and you have sports and stuff like that, I never had as much time to read. So really, I feel like reading is something I only do besides for school, like during the summers. Currently, I am reading a book called A Curse So Dark and Lonely, and I actually had it recommended to me on TikTok because I am on Book Talk, and that's the place to be if you are not there. My lips are so dry, I can like feel them. 1 second. Okay, so I am on Book Talk, and if you are not on Book Talk, that is the place to be, trust me. And so I had that book recommended to me there. Someone did like a little follow along as they read it, and yeah, I mean, it's okay. I feel like it's not very new. I'm about like 60% of the way through, but we'll see. I'll keep an open mind. Getting back to my to be read list, I've had several books that I have been meaning to read for a long time, and some that I've heard about more recently. In general, I tend to just read from the library. I feel like that's a great way to save money, and also I feel like I don't know if I'll like a book, so I don't want to spend my own money on it. I feel like that's why I always end up owning a bunch of sequels and like second and third books of the series and never like the first book, because I always read it at the library, and then if I love it and I can't wait for the new release, I usually will buy it right when it comes out. So the first book on my to be read list is A Blade So Black. And this book, one of my friends read, so she was talking about like, this love triangle, or like the plot and how great it was, and I feel like, I want to try it out. And I think what it's about is about like this Alice in Wonderland twist, and it has magic and like warriors, and it just seems like a very like fantasy realm thing, which I really like those kind of books. I definitely have heard of it before, so yeah, I'm gonna give it a try and see what I think. The next book, and this one has been on my list for a while, it's called Sapiens, and it's like a brief history of humankind is the subtitle. It's basically like a brief like timeline / overview of like the history of humanity, and how we evolved and how we are today, and like why we think certain ways or like feel certain ways, or like where some of our like behaviors come from, why do we behave, how we behave, and like why we do certain things. And I love books like that, so I think I'm gonna love this one. The other book I have, which I actually have with me, that I'm going to be reading is called Big Magic, and this book is by the author of Eat, Pray, Love, which I've definitely heard about, and this is her book on creative living beyond fear. Yeah, and it's called Big Magic, and I mean the cover is like beautiful. Oh my gosh, like it's gorgeous. And I actually got this book because I was ordering some gifts for my family, and in order to meet the free shipping requirement, I had to get another book. So I was like, okay, I'll get one for me. And yeah, I got this one, and I did start reading it. I'm on page like maybe 30 so far. One morning this past weekend, I just sat down and read a bit. So far it was very like straightforward and like plain spoken, which I don't have anything against. I mean, I do like to get, like lost in the words, and I feel like with nonfiction that is more of a common thing to be like more like straight to the point. I'll keep giving it a shot. I'm sure I'll love it. I feel like it's important to embrace creativity, even if you're not going to be an artist, or like a singer. I think we can all use a bit of creativity in our lives, so yes. So yes. The next book that is on my TBR is the 6th Harry Potter book, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. So I've read all 5 of them, although it's taken me like literally like 8 years perhaps. I started it in middle school, and I'm a senior now in high school. And my family and we are watching the Harry Potter movies as I read each book. So we watched the 5th one, and now we're all waiting on me to read this. And I love the Harry Potter series. It's so fun and magical, and it's so creative. Like, I mean, we all know that like this series just like changed the whole like literary genre of fiction and magical realism and all of that, and it's the best. I feel like they're well suited to all like age ranges because everyone can appreciate that element of magic and just like, I don't know, English culture and everything. So yes, that's my catchphrase. Maddie, if we ever get merch, I'll make it sure it'll be like, so yes. The next book on my list is called The Rest of the Story, and this book is by Sarah Dessen, who is a pretty well-known YA author. I think she primarily writes romance books, and I only found out about her because when we were on Cape Cod a couple of summers ago, her book, which I actually do own up there, called Once and For All, came out, and she was in Cape Cod doing a book signing at like our local bookstore that I love, and so I went with my dad and we had the best time. And yeah, she signed my book, and the book was incredible. It was actually featured like talked about like a school shooting, and it was very like deep at points, very well written. Like, her storytelling is so beautiful. I've read a few of her other books. I got The Rest of the Story 2 summers ago when she visited, and this one is also signed. Yeah, and so I think I might have started it. Actually, I never started it because I was reading a different book of hers at the time. So yes, that's still sitting here, and I know it is very summery and it's like winter now, but I still think I will enjoy this. And so the last book on my TBR is called Serpent and Dove, and this book I like saved to my list. I think I might have heard about it on TikTok as well, and I saved it because it features my favorite trope ever, enemies to lovers. If you are a friends to lovers trope fan or stan, get out of here, okay? On this channel we stan enemies to lovers. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Oh, the hatred blossoming into love. Oh, beautiful. It seems like a typical YA book in that it's like set in a fantasy realm. She's a witch or like some kind of like creature, you know, that has like magic, and he hunts whatever like she is. So of course they're enemies, but then they're forced to get married or like something like that to complete some kind of plot. So I'm looking forward to reading it. I love stories like this. Those are all the books on my TBR to be read list, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up for me and for Maddie. She's been working very hard to keep putting vlogmas content out for you guys, and no, she's not holding a gun to my head as I say this. I've been watching her work really hard to edit. Of course I've been filming as well, but I also am busy with school. And so this was a very nice break for me to enjoy myself as well as connect with you guys. So yes, please subscribe, ring the bell, give it a like, comment down below what books you want to see me read or review. I've read a lot of the popular ones. If you read any of the books that I mentioned, I'd love to get your opinion on them. And yeah, stay tuned for our next video. Bye guys, love you!